Welcome to Sketchbook School, the show. Each week we take one question about art or drawing, illustrated journaling, the creative life, and we ask an expert to help us answer it. This week we're going to talk about what it's like to keep an illustrated journal for day after day through your entire life. How do you keep up your habit? How does it affect your life and the way you see the world? And what's it like to look back on more than a half a century of sketchbooking? We're going to discuss this question with Richard Bell. He's an illustrator in Yorkshire in the north of England, and he's an ardent sketchbooker, and he's been keeping an illustrated journal since he was 7 years old. He's filled shelves and shelves with these gorgeous sketchbooks, and he's been recording his life and drawing. Well, they've become his life work, and what a lovely life it's been. What is a lifetime of journaling added up to for you?
Yeah, well, I've just got shelves of sketchbooks in the attic. I've made a point of accumulating them all in the same place so they aren't stuffed on shelves here and there. And it's quite an impressive pile of them. When I was 7 years old, I've got the first little book I did in an exercise book from the post office, one of these lined school books. And one of the subjects, it's about this little book is typical of what I do today. Considering I was 7 or 8 years old, and I'd been with the family up into the hills. And the things that had attracted my attention were things like the mark that water had made as it had flown over a rock. And that's just me today. I started very young. And one of the articles in this book is how to keep a sketchbook. So I felt I was some kind of expert on that, age 7 or 8. Isn't it strange? And then, so it's just gone on ever since. And I remember in school days, I liked art, but I think I liked drawing better than art, if you know what I mean. It wasn't, I did do some of these things where you create something that looks good on the wall. And but really, there is a difference between art and drawing. I think drawing's more to do with an interest in the world. So my mum, who was a teacher, was very keen that when we went on holiday, she encouraged us to keep a holiday journal, so that there was always so much of interest to see and more time to do it because she didn't have schoolwork. And that went on right through my teenage years, right from being about 11 or 12, and well, it still goes on today, really. So, and I've still got all those, and that's wonderful to look back on. My sister was here, and I found an account of a holiday in France in about 1964, and it just brought it back so vividly.
So, and then you continued, you went to art school, you continued, obviously that became more and more your focus until it became really what your job was as well.
Yeah, I mean, that was it. I went to art school, and I remember when I first applied, this was when I was age 16, I said, I just love drawing, but I'm open-minded if I discover that, I want to look at jewellery and, I don't know, 3D design and all that. But of course, I just came back to drawing. It's just in my DNA or something. And I remember my headmaster saying at the time, art schools are for people who can't get O levels, the school exams. He says, you're sixth form material, you'd go on to university and do something with your life. But the temptation of being able to do something creative every day was just too much. And I went through this lovely thing of being at art school and just work. And then I was setting myself up as an illustrator and work. And eventually one of my friends was dying of cancer. And I thought I ought to get out and meet people. So I took my sketchbook with me. And that's how I met Barbara. I saw this nice looking girl in a pub in the Shepherd's Arms. And, can I draw you? And I'm still with her 30 or 40 years later.
So it's like a time machine, or it's almost like a recording of your entire life is there in a way that most people don't have it, right? I mean, you're able to go back and access almost any moment of your entire history.
Sometimes when I'm working, I think, why am I doing this? But when I look back, there's no part of me work that's ever been wasted. And yeah, I can never imagine a life when I don't draw. I want to hang on to my eyes and my ability to draw for as long as I can. I found that the sketchbook habit. I've got so many other interests like the history of the local area, geology, travelling, and every aspect of my life I feel is enriched by having this sketchbook habit. There's nothing that you can't understand better if you draw it. And I really can't imagine a life when I haven't got one or two sketchbooks on the go.
Richard Bell's been keeping a fantastic illustrated blog for more than a decade, and he's published many, many beautiful and inspiring books. You can find out more at his website.